Hello dear friends, welcome back to High Point again. In this video, we are going to learn about Wycherley's The Country Wife. The previous videos we have started with major plays, comedy of manners plays written by playwrights of Restoration age, and in this video we will learn about the very important comedy of manners play of the Restoration age, Wycherley's The Country Wife. I hope most of you have learned this in your MA classes. If you are yet to learn the Restoration age, I think you will learn The Country Wife. So pay ample attention, adequate attention to the video, otherwise you won't be able to understand the sequences of action going on in the play. And also I have seen ample amount of questions from The Country Wife. Okay, so before beginning the video, if you're a first time listener, please do subscribe to my channel. If you wanted to have more contents related to NTA, UGC, NET, JRF, English language and literature and more, and also follow me on Instagram for the same. There too we are sharing variety of materials. Use this WhatsApp number if you have any queries, questions and suggestions related to the videos that we are posting in here, or if you wanted to know anything related to the courses that we are sharing in our website. Go to the website. The link to the website is there in the description box. You can click it and directly go to the website and see what we have provided there, the entire materials that you are needed to have and you needed to prepare for your NTU, UGC, NET, JRF, English language and literature. Paper 2 is available there. You can see how it is arranged, how well it is planned and all. And if you are interested, you can join our family as a student and enjoy the full things, the free bonuses that we are providing for our students. Okay, if you want to know anything further, use WhatsApp number or Instagram ID or the comment section of the videos in YouTube. Now moving on about the introduction about The Country Wife. The Country Wife is a Restoration comedy written by William Wycherley and first performed in 1675. So these three things, these are so basic about this play. You have to understand who is the playwright of the play. It is William Wycherley, and in which age The Country Wife was produced. Wife was written and performed in the Restoration age, and it's a Restoration comedy. The genre is Restoration comedy or comedy of manners. It was first performed in 1675. The Country Wife is a product of the tolerant early Restoration period. The play reflects an aristocratic and anti-Puritan ideology. So we can say aristocratic, at the same time anti-Puritan ideology. So these two things are themes, prevalent themes in this play, and it was controversial for its sexual explicitness even its own time. So we can see The Country Wife is full of intrigues, licentious behavior and sexual explicitness. Direct sexual comments and scenes and dialogues packed with the sexual connotations are quite very famous and quite very normal in Restoration comedy of manners. But still, The Country Wife, even when it was produced in Restoration age, even then it was so controversial for its sexual explicitness. The title contains a lewd pun with regard to its first syllable of country. So it contains a pun, that's it. It is based on several plays by Molière with added features that 1670s London audience demanded. Colloquial prose dialogue in place of Molière's verse, a complicated fast-paced plot tangle, and many sexual jokes or sex jokes. Actually, this play got inspired from a foreign playwright known as Molière, and even then it got it has a base upon Molière's plays, but even then it is never the same with Molière's plays, because London audience demanded more. 1670s London audience demanded more. What was their demands? Colloquial prose dialogues. In English, we will find prose dialogues instead of verse. In Molière's plays, you will find verse dialogues written in poem forms or verse form. But instead of that, English drama, especially Restoration comedy, in Restoration comedy, London audience demanded colloquial prose dialogues, and also they demanded a complicated, fast-paced swiftly moving tangle, and many sex jokes. It turns on two delicate plot devices. You can find two delicate plot devices in this play. A rake's trick of pretending importance to safely have clandestine affair with married women. So that is the first thing happening. That's the first device or the trick used by one of the characters in the play in order to move the entire action going on in the play. Okay, so the rake, rake in the sense who is a womanizer, who likes to woo the woman and wants to take advantage of reputation of women and those who wanted to have secret sexual affairs. He wants to make friendship with them, woo them, behave chivalrously with them, and then take advantage of them and make sexual affairs with them. Okay, so in order to get that safely, in order to get into women's circle safely, and women also feel, and their husbands also feel safe with him, their wives. So he mainly spreads a rumor about his impotency. In that way, every other man who has a wife felt safe, their wives, with Honor. Honor is the character's name who spreads this type of a rumor about his own impotencies. The other things related to that we will see later. The implied condition the rake Honor claims to suffer from was, he said, contracted in France whilst dealing with common women. So he spreads that. See, while he was dealing with common women, when he was having sex with common women in France, he contracted with a kind of sexual disease, and while doing the surgery in order to cure that disease, actually the surgeon drastically underwent a kind of surgery in that genital area that actually made him impotent. So there is no need that any man feel any threat to him because of Honor, as his wife is with him, because Honor is important. So that's the first and or the device, the major thing happening, major device used in the play in order to move the drama forward. Now, let's see the plot in details. I am not going to say the character list separately. As we move in the play, we will come across the major characters and we will discuss about them. We will discuss the theme in between. Okay, there are a lot of important characters, and also there are lot of important scenes in this play that frequently questions are asked from that scenes about that characters as well. So pay ample and adequate attention to each word that I am saying in here. If you are taking down notes, then that's great. The Country Wife is more neatly constructed than most restoration comedies, but typical of its time and place in having 3 sources and 3 plots. So it's very typical of that time, of the restoration age, that to have 3 sources and 3 plots in a play, and Country Wife is one of such a play, and we can see that it's a neatly constructed play. The separate plots are interlinked but distinct, each projecting a sharply different mood. So these 3 plots that we have inside the play, they are interlinked. They are not separate, but they are interlinked, but still they are distinct, and they are projecting separate and sharply different moods. Which are these 3 plots? First one is, as I told you, Honor's impotence trick. Then the second one is the married life of Pinchwife and Marjorie. So see the title, The Country Wife. Who is this country wife? Marjorie is the country wife. Pinchwife, he was a womanizer, and he marries a woman, young girl, Marjorie, from a countryside, a village area, hoping that she will be more innocent and more moral because of that innocence, since she is unaware about the things going on, the way in which people are living in a town area, in a city area. So she will be more moral. At the same time, she will be more loyal to him. She won't cuckold him, and she won't engage in extramarital affair with anyone else behind him. But Marjorie proved that Pinchwife is wrong, and when Marjorie knew about the ways of enjoyment in the town, she also engages. She engages with another man, and many other things are happening around that. The third one is the courtship of Harcourt and Alethea. Harcourt loves Alethea and finally they unite. So these are the three major plots. Now let's in detail see the plot of Country Wife from the first to the last action. Now, Harry Horner. So Horner's full name is Harry Horner, a notorious womanizer, spreads a rumor that he has contracted the venereal disease and that while being treated for this by a French surgeon, he has accidentally been made impotent. So Harry Horner, he is a famous notorious womanizer. Every other circle it is known that Horner is a womanizer. Especially men knew this very well, that Horner is a womanizer, and he spreads a rumor that he contracted a venereal genital disease, a disease related to the genital area of the body, and in order to cure that, the French surgeon did a kind of surgery in that area in his body, and accidentally he had been made impotent. He persuades his doctor, a quack, who spreads this story all over town, hoping that gullible men will leave their wives, sisters and daughters with honor without suspicion that he might seduce them. So it's a trick. It's not at all truth. Horner spreads this rumor. It's just a rumor, nothing else. So he persuades his daughter, a quack, in order to, there should be a scientific evidence, there should be a scientific back to his story, right? So he wanted his friend, a doctor friend, to spread this rumor, and he did so. Horner hopes that after spreading this rumor, the men in the town will be fearless of him when they leave their women, their sisters and daughters with him, with Horner, without any suspicion, without any doubt that he might seduce them because he is impotent only. As soon as the rumor has been circulated, Horner is pleased to find that Sir Jasper Fidget, a businessman who works in the city, comes to call and leaves his wife, Lady Fidget, and her companions, Mrs. Dainty Fidget and Mrs. Squeamish, in Horner's care. So what happens? Lady Fidget, so as soon as this rumor got circulated, men, since it was circulated by a doctor or also testified by a doctor, everybody believes that. So soon a person known as, a businessman known as Sir Jasper Fidget, leaves his wife Lady Fidget and her sister-in-law Mrs. Lady Fidget and his sister Mrs. Squeamish in Horner's care. When they are told that Horner is impotent, so please remember these characters, okay? Jasper Fidget, Lady Fidget, Mrs. Dainty Fidget, then Mrs. Squeamish, okay? These are the three women, especially we can see by name that Horner seduced. It's said that he seduced many other women, okay? When they are told that Horner is impotent, however, the ladies, who have a reputation for being extremely virtuous, are disgusted and refuse to stay with him. So these ladies, Lady Fidget and Dainty Fidget, Squeamish, these ladies, they had a very good reputation in the society. They portrayed themselves as extremely virtuous, but still when they heard that Horner is impotent and nobody can make any kind of advancement with him, so they became so disgusted and refused to stay with him. They storm out just as Horner's friend Harcourt and Dorliant arrived to commiserate with him about his new importance. So these three women, they got disgusted and refused to stay with him. As they were storming out from Horner's house, Horner's room, Harcourt, Horner's friends Harcourt and Dorliant, they came to talk about the rumor of importance and all. Now what happens? As they are talking, Sparkish arrives. Another character is Sparkish. Sparkish arrives and the friends scramble to find a way to get rid of him. Sparkish is a bore and so arrogant that he does not understand when they insult him and ask him to leave. So Sparkish arrives. So we have Harcourt and Dorlian is there with Honor as they were talking about the new rumor that he spreaded. Who comes there? Sparkish comes, and Sparkish is a bore. So this is the characteristic of a bore and arrogant, and he doesn't understand when other people insult him. Okay, and Honor and Dorliand and Harcourt, these people, they insulted him and they asked him to leave. They eventually succeeded in seeing Sparkish off. So they put an effort to get rid of Sparkish, and finally they succeeded in seeing Sparkish off just in time Mr. Pinchwife to arrive. So as Sparkish was going out from their house, Mr. Pinchwife arrives. Another character, Mr. Pinchwife, arrives. Pinchwife was a womanizer. Like Honor, he was also a womanizer in his youth. Now he is not a young person. Pinchwife is more or less, he is in his 40s or 50s. And Pinchwife married a very young woman from a village area whose name was Marjorie. Pinchwife was a womanizer when he was young, but has recently married a young woman from the country. He has not heard the rumors about Honor and becomes extremely jealous when Honor inquires about his wife and suggests that she may make Pinchwife's cuckold. So what he does, everybody knows that Pinchwife has married a woman from country wife in order to make sure that she will be more moral, innocent, and she won't cuckold him. But Pinchwife is also a person who has jealousy and who has many other problems, relationship issues and many other, he is a jealous person, extremely jealous. If anyone asks about his wife to him, then he immediately becomes very jealous and he feels that maybe this person has an interest in his wife. So knowing that, Honor asks about his wife, and immediately Pinchwife becomes so jealous, and he also suggests that maybe his wife can cuckold him. Pinchwife replies that his wife is too simple. Since Marjorie is from countryside, she is so simple and stupid. She doesn't know the ways of town, so she is so stupid. She will find nothing in here, so she is so stupid to be taken into town, and so he plans to leave her at home. So he never takes her anywhere else. He wants her to stay in the house itself. He's only in town briefly to arrange Sparkish's marriage to his sister Alethea. So Alethea is another character that Harcourt loves, and Alethea is Pinchwife's sister. So he never leaves his wife alone. He never takes her, Marjorie, in any other space in the town other than house. So he wants Marjorie to stay in house, and Pinchwife is there in the town briefly to arrange his sister Alethea's marriage with Sparkish, and Sparkish is a bore and arrogant person. Honor notices how jealous Pinchwife is of his wife and decides to tease him. So Honor is aware that Pinchwife is a jealous person. So he, after seeing jealous Pinchwife about his wife, he decided to tease him more. He tells Pinchwife that he saw him at the theatre the previous night with a beautiful young woman. So Pinchwife further says that, Pinchwife was further told by Honor that Honor has seen Pinchwife in the theatre in the previous night, and Pinchwife was not alone. He saw Pinchwife with a beautiful young woman. Pinchwife is insulted and storms out, and Honor understands from his reaction that this woman is his wife. So Honor never seen the beautiful Marjorie. So when Pinchwife heard that Honor has already seen the young woman with him in the previous night in the theatre, Pinchwife got insulted and felt more jealous, and he storms out of the house. And through his reaction, Honor understood that the young woman was none other than his new beautiful young wife from the countryside. At Pinchwife's house, his young wife Marjorie complains to Alethea. Alethea is Pinchwife's sister, that Pinchwife will not let her go out and enjoy the town. So Marjorie, she is upset. She married to this old man because she wanted to go to town and enjoy the town, the facilities of town, the joy of town, and so she wanted to make a tour of the town. So Marjorie complains to Alethea that Pinchwife is never letting her to go out and enjoy the spirit of the town. She tells Alethea that she loved to going to the theater the night before and found the actors extremely handsome. So she was so attracted to actors and the handsome, not the acting abilities but the physical beauty of the actors. So she is so innocent. She never understood the importance to keep things with herself. Okay, so she directly says to Alethea, see, she loved to go to this to that theater in the last night, and she found that the actors are extremely so handsome. Pinchwife returns and overhears them and berates Alethea for setting a bad example for Marjorie. Marjorie begs Pinchwife to let her go into town, and Pinchwife tells her that she cannot go because if she does, young men may fall in love with her. And Pinchwife returns. So Pinchwife storms out of Honor's house and directly went to his home because he was so jealous. And Pinchwife returns and he stays and overhears these two ladies' talks, Alethea's and Marjorie's. So Marjorie, when she was telling that she loved to go to theater and she loved the actor's beauty and all, he became jealous and he scolded Alethea for setting it as a bad example for Marjorie. And Marjorie, she begged Pinchwife to take her to town, but he refuses by telling that if you go out like this, young men will get attracted towards you and there is a chance that you cuckold me. This only increases Marjorie's enthusiasm. So when you get restricted of something, you will get more curious and enthusiastic about that thing, right? That's exactly happened with Marjorie. Pinchwife tells her that a man has already seen her at the theater and is in love with her. Marjorie is excited by this and begs to know the young man's name, so Pinchwife locks her in her room to punish her. See, Pinchwife got a problem. Pinchwife never wanted Marjorie to know anything. But as he talks to Marjorie, he will reveal exactly the same thing that Marjorie wanted to have. Marjorie wanted to know that he doesn't want Marjorie to know this, that somebody got attracted towards her, somebody found her so beautiful, and somebody feels love towards her, somebody wanted to be with her. He doesn't want Marjorie to know any of these things. But as he talks, he will reveal the exact details, information that he wanted to hide from her. So as Pinchwife was talking to Marjorie, he revealed that some man already spotted Marjorie in the theater in the last day. And it seems that he is in love with her. And after hearing this, Marjorie felt so excited, and she asked the name of the man, and Pinchwife was so shocked by Marjorie's reaction about such a thing, and Marjorie got locked up in her room that Pinchwife wanted to punish her. Now, just then, Sparkish arrives with Harcourt to visit Alethea. Sparkish and Alethea, they are going to get married, and Sparkish arrives with Harcourt and to show his fiancée off to his friend. Harcourt falls in love with Alethea instantly and begins to court her brazenly in front of Sparkish. Sparkish is a bore and arrogant. He never understands things directly. And Harcourt, after seeing Alethea, instantly he fell in love with Alethea and started courting her in front of Sparkish. Okay. Although Alethea protests, Sparkish does not notice and seems incapable of jealousy. So Alethea was not ready to court Harcourt, doesn't want Harcourt to court her because she is already engaged to Sparkish. And even Harcourt was courting her in front of Sparkish. Sparkish seems incapable of jealousy. Sparkish never felt any jealousy. Maybe because Sparkish is not in love with her. She simply wanted to marry her. Harcourt, Alethea and Sparkish head off to the theatre. Alethea still protesting because Sparkish plans to seat her with Harcourt. So both these three people, Harcourt, Alethea and Sparkish, they set off to theatre to watch a play. And Alethea was protesting to Harcourt advances. And even Sparkish was not jealousy. And Sparkish was even planning her to sit with Harcourt, that she was protecting, that he cannot understand that Harcourt is courting her in front of him. Lady Fidget, Mrs. Dainty Fidget and Mrs. Squeamish arrive at Pinchwife house to take Marjorie to see the play. Pinchwife chases them off, much to their amusement. So what happens? These three women, Lady Fidget, Mrs. Dainty Fidget, Mrs. Squeamish, these three women came to Pinchwife's house in order to take Marjorie to see the play. But Marjorie was excited, but Pinchwife was there to as a guard to protect his wife from all these type of men and women, and he chases them off, and they felt an amusement in it. While they wait for Sir Jasper, Lady Fidget, Mrs. Dainty Fidget and Mrs. Squeamish lament that they are always being passed over by men in favor of common women. So what happens? These three women, they belong to aristocracy. See, every other character we can see in this play, they belong to aristocracy. It's the same level. So there is a unity in that sense. Sir Jasper, they are waiting for Sir Jasper. And they lament, Lady Fidget, Mrs. Dainty Fidget and Mrs. Squeamish. They don't have anything else to do in their life. Simply to be beautiful, simply to go and see the theatrical things, gossip about people and engage in extramarital affairs. That's all they are doing. Nothing else they wanted to do or they are doing in their life, using their time in their life. So these three women, they lament, they felt bad about what they are feeling bad. They feel bad that common women, all these men, they have a favor for common women. They never want them. They never want women from the aristocracy. So it is what they are lamenting. They are always, these three women lament that they are always being passed over by men in favor of common women. Men has a favor for common women. Men are not noticing them. So that's their problem. They feel that men no longer seek out virtuous women to have affairs with. So they call them as virtuous, extremely virtuous, but they still wanted to have attention from other men and wanted to have affair with them. So they feel and lament that, see, men, we are virtuous women and nobody wants to have any affairs with them. While they are talking, Sir Jasper arrives with honor and Dorliand and tells the ladies that these young men will take them to the theatre. So as they were waiting for Sir Jasper to go to the theatre, they are talking like this. And Sir Jasper arrives with honor and Dorliand, and Jasper says to them that these young men, Honor and Dorliand, they'll take them to the theatre. And they know that honor is important. The ladies are horrified and refused. What happens? These three women, they know that honor is not capable to make any kind of relationship with them, sexual kind of relationship with them. So they don't want their company. So they refuse and they got horrified about such an idea. Dorliand leaves, but Sir Jasper insists that it will not harm their reputation to be seen with honor. So after the ladies' refusal, Dorliand instantly leaves the situation, but honor stays there. So Sir Jasper insists and says them that, see, honor is rumored of being an important. So if you see with him, nobody is going to question your reputation. Your reputations are quite safe with him. Honor takes Lady Fidget aside and whispers to her that he is not actually important and says that he has lied for her sakes to get her close to her. So this is what he is doing. Okay? He is not actually important. And Lady Fidget was so disgusted about the idea that to spend time with an important man. So Honor takes Lady Fidget. He cannot make it full public. He cannot declare publicly that he is not actually important. So Lady Fidget clearly shows that he wanted to have affairs with men. So Lady Fidget was taken aside by Honor and whispers to her that he is not actually important, and says that he has lied for her own sake. Actually, he never lied for her own sake, but he wanted to have women of good reputation from good family to make some kind of sexual arrangements with him. Okay, so in order to get closer to her, he lied to people in order to get her. That's what he says to Lady Fidget, and thoroughly flattered. So Lady Fidget becomes thoroughly flattered because he made such a huge rumor and spreaded it for her sake. She believed that. And Lady Fidget relents and persuades the others to allow Honor to take them out. So Lady Fidget now knows the truth. So she went to the other two ladies and persuades the other two ladies to go along with him. Sir Jasper rushes off to attend to businesses, feeling very pleased with himself and the entertainment he has provided for his wife. So Sir Jasper, he believes that what? He believes Honor is important. So there is no harm that he left the ladies of his house with him. So Sir Jasper, as he get rid of Lady Fidget with Honor, Jasper rushes off to attend the business, and he also felt so pleased and felt so safe for his ladies because he provided entertainment. He provided it with Honor. Honor is an important person. Marjorie, still cooped up with Pinchwife's house, eventually puts her foot down and forces Pinchwife to take her into town. Marjorie was locked up in her room by Pinchwife, but finally she persuaded Pinchwife that there is no other way other than taking her into town, and he was compulsorily and forcefully made to take her to the town. He agrees on the condition that she dresses up like a man so that Honor and his friend will not recognize her. She will be taken to the town by her husband, Pinchwife, but he has a condition. What is that condition? She need to cross-dress like a man so that Honor and his friends may not recognize her. Alethea and her maid Lucy accompany them. So Alethea is Pinchwife's sister, and her maid Lucy, both of them accompanied them. Honor, Harcourt and Dorland are also in town, and Harcourt tells Honor about his predicament. He is in love with Alethea, Sparkish's fiancée. Honor tells him that Sparkish will help him to woo her, and Sparkish joins them at the moment. So Alethea and their maid Lucy and Pinchwife's wife Marjorie, dressed in a man, these four of them, and Pinchwife of course, these four of them set to the town, and in the town we already have Honor, Harcourt, Dorland is also always there. And while they were there, Harcourt says that he is in love with Alethea, Sparkish's fiancée, and Honor, after hearing this, he tells to Harcourt that, see, Sparkish is so stupid and bored and arrogant. He himself will help you to woo Alethea. So Sparkish joins them because Alethea is also going to be there in town. As they are talking, Pinchwife, Marjorie, Alethea, Lucy walk past, and the men pursue them. Pinchwife tried to avoid them, but the men accost the party and ask who is the young man among them is. While they were talking, these four people, Pinchwife, Marjorie, Alethea, Lucy, they walk past, and the men stopped their talking and they pursue them. And Pinchwife tried to avoid them, but the men confronted them and asked who is this young man with them. Then Pinchwife says that the young man who is Marjorie in disguise is his wife's brother. So he never reveals that this young man is Marjorie, but he instead says that this young man is Marjorie's brother. Sparkish begins to push Harcourt and Alethea together and implore her to forgive Harcourt for offending her that morning. Sparkish is so stupid and he even pushes Harcourt and Alethea together. What he wanted from that? He wanted her to forgive Harcourt as he was offending her that morning. Meanwhile, Honor begins to flirt with Marjorie and kisses her in front of Pinchwife, begging her to take the kisses to her sister. So Honor is so cunning. He knows that this is not Marjorie's brother. This is Marjorie herself. So he started to flirt with the Marjorie and kisses her. He gives Marjorie a lot of kisses in front of Pinchwife. Pinchwife cannot say anything because he said that it is Marjorie's brother only. So it's a man. He says that. So after giving the kisses, Honor said that you have to give these kisses to your sister. Pinchwife, desperate to get Marjorie away from Honor, tries to hail a carriage, but while he is gone, Honor leads Marjorie away down another street. So Pinchwife, he is so stupid. He went from that situation making Marjorie alone with Honor. Actually, he wanted to take away Marjorie from Honor. But what he does actually, he wanted to hail a carriage and he went after a carriage. So basically Honor and Marjorie, they became alone. So taking the advantage of this situation, Honor leads Marjorie away into another street. Pinchwife is frantic when he returns, but Marjorie reappears a few moments later with a bundle of fruit that Honor has given her. Sir Jasper Fidget arrives and reminds Honor that he must take the ladies to the theatre. He leads Honor off and leaves a disgruntled Pinchwife in the street. So what happens? So when Pinchwife returned with a carriage, what happens? He cannot see Marjorie there in that spot. So he became so frantic and Marjorie reappears only a few moments after Pinchwife's arrival. And in her hand there is a bundle of fruit that Honor gave her. And to that situation, Sir Jasper Fidget arrives and reminds Honor that you should take the ladies to the theatre. And he leads Honor off and there Pinchwife was left in the street. He was so frantic and mad. The next morning, Sparkish arrives at Pinchwife's house to marry Alethea. Sparkish is going to marry Alethea. So next morning Sparkish arrives there to marry Alethea. However, the person he has brought with him to conduct the wedding is really Harcourt in disguise. Alethea easily sees through this trick and refuses to allow the wedding, much to the confusion of Sparkish. So what happens? Sparkish arrives at Pinchwife's house to marry Alethea. But you need a parson, you need a priest to solemnize the wedding. So the parson is present. But Harcourt is in the disguise of the parson and Alethea could see this easily. Okay, so she refuses to allow the wedding, and Sparkish is unaware why she is not ready to get married. She knows that this is not the actual person, this is Harcourt in disguise. So Alethea refused to get married and Sparkish goes confused. Meanwhile, Pinchwife grills Marjorie about the time she spent alone with Honor the evening before. When Marjorie tells Pinchwife that Honor put his tongue in her mouth when he kissed her, Pinchwife can no longer contain his jealousy and forces Marjorie to write a letter to Honor in which she tells him that she finds him disgusting and will not tolerate his advances. So what happens? Pinchwife, the other three ladies, they came back to their house and Pinchwife was grilling and scolding Marjorie as she went alone with Honor in the previous evening. When Marjorie tells that Honor kissed him so many times. Honor kissed Marjorie so many times and Honor put his tongue in her mouth while he was kissing her. So she revealed this to Pinchwife, and Pinchwife can no longer contain his jealousy. He became so disgusted and he became so mad at Marjorie, and Pinchwife forced Marjorie to write a letter to Honor by telling that she finds Honor disgust and she will not tolerate any further advances from him. Marjorie is upset because she has fallen in love with Honor and thinks the way to trick her husband. So Marjorie, she after having the talk, after having the kisses and all, Marjorie is so upset, and she already fell in love with Honor, and she thinks ways to trick her husband and be with Honor as many times as possible. Since he has taught Marjorie to write letters, which before she did not know how to do, she writes a second letter to Honor, in which she confesses her love to him. When he returns the letter seal, Marjorie swaps the letters and seal the one she has written herself rather than Pinchwife's to send to Honor. So Pinchwife is again doing a mistake. Okay, Marjorie was unaware how to write a letter. She had no education, so she was unaware. So Marjorie, she doesn't know how to write a letter, but now knows how to write a letter because Pinchwife taught her to write a letter when she was asked to write a letter to Honor. So she also, after writing the letter that Pinchwife asked, she even writes a second letter to Honor, in which she confesses her love to him. So after that, what she does, she returns with the letter seal. When he returns with the letter seal, so while she was writing the letter, Pinchwife went to take the letter seal. So Marjorie swaps the letter. So as he was punching the letter seal, Marjorie swaps the letters and seals the one she has written herself rather than Pinchwife's, so sent to Honor. So actually the letter that she was confessing her love to him was sent to Honor rather than what Pinchwife asked her to write. Okay, and Pinchwife was so stupid that he never even opened the opened the letter and read what she has written there. He felt that she is so stupid and simple. She has no idea about such kind of tricks. But one cannot underestimate Marjorie. Now, Honor is at home with a quack who is eager to hear how Honor's experiment is going. So, the same quack who spreaded the rumor, who testified the rumor of Honor's importance. So, quack is there in his house and he is so eager to know how Honor's experiment rumor went, whether it is success, how many women he seduced and all. He is impressed with what he hears and even more impressed when Lady Fidget arrives alone. Honor ushers the quack behind a screen and the doctor watches as Lady Fidget throws herself at Honor. So what happens? The quack felt so impressed that how successful that was that rumor. And he also saw that Lady Fidget arrives Honor's house alone. And even though she comes alone, her reputations will be safe because everybody believes that Honor is important. And Honor ushers quack behind a screen. Honor put the quack behind the screen and he had a live show of this romance going on between Lady Fidget and Honor. The pair begin to fondle each other but are interrupted by Sir Jasper. Lady Fidget thinks quickly and tells her husband that she is tickling Honor because he has refused to take her shopping. Sir Jasper watches in amusement as Lady Fidget rushes into another room and locks the door, claiming she is going to steal some of Honor's fine china. So what happens? So as Lady Fidget and Honor, they were engaged in fondling each other, Sir Jasper Fidget, Lady Fidget's husband, Sir Jasper, arrives there. So he saw the intimate scene, but he believes that Honor is important, so it's not a sexual thing that they are doing. So Jasper was said that Lady Fidget said to him that she was tickling Honor. She was not doing any kind of foreplay, but she was tickling Honor because he has refused to take her for shopping. And Jasper was watching their amusement. Okay, and as he was watching what happens, Lady Fidget rushes into another room. Lady Fidget along with Honor, both of them rushed into another room, and as she was rushing, she's said that she is going to steal some of Honor's fine china. That means Honor has a china collection, china vessels and china potteries he had in his house, and this is known as the China scene, and it is so notorious and famous. And after seeing this scene in the play, this scene got so famous that anything that is related to China during that time had a sexual connotation. Okay, during that time, Homer rushes in after her, and Sir Jasper laughs at the sound coming through the door. Now the door is closed. Jasper felt that they are playing, and Honor is, Lady Fidget is tickling him, and she is trying to take the china and china potteries and all, and Honor is preventing her. So he laughs. Sir Jasper laughs at the sound coming through the door. Actually, they are having sexual intercourse. Mrs. Squeamish arrives moments later and tries to break into the room. She is followed by her grandmother, Old Lady Squeamish. Honor and Lady Fidget re-emerge, Lady Fidget carrying some china, and Mrs. Squeamish tries to persuade Honor to give her some china too. So there is a double meaning there. So China got double meaning. So from the room, they can hear Mr. Jasper can hear. Sir Jasper can hear some noises. They are talking about the China set, but actually they are doing sexual intercourse. He failed to understand the double meaning of what they are saying. So that's what happening in the China scene. And into that scene, Mrs. Squeamish arrives a moment later and tries to break into the room. She is followed by her grandmother, and Mrs. Squeamish, she came up with her grandmother, Old Lady Squeamish, and Honor and Lady Fidget re-emerge. So after the advancements and all, Honor and Lady Fidget re-emerge from the room, and Lady Fidget carries some china potteries, china sets with her, and Mrs. Squeamish tried to persuade Honor to give her some china. It's like Mrs. Squeamish also understood what happened inside the room. So as a double meaning, we can see a double meaning. Mrs. Squeamish tries to persuade Honor also to give some china to her. Pinchwife enters, and ladies immediately leave with Sir Jasper to avoid being seen by another man. So Pinchwife arrives there into Honor's house to give this letter from Marjorie, and after seeing him, Sir Jasper and the ladies leaves the scene. Pinchwife has brought Honor the letter from Marjorie. Honor reads it and is extremely confused about Pinchwife's triumphant attitude. Pinchwife leaves, but he is brought back a moment later by Sparkish, who insists they must join him for his wedding dinner. So what happens? Pinchwife arrives with the letter from Marjorie. What actually there in the letter? Her confession of love towards Honor. But Pinchwife believes that just as Pinchwife suggested her to do, she has written her hatred and disgust towards Honor. So after reading the letter, Honor felt extremely confused because Pinchwife showed triumphant attitude, while all that he could find in the letter, he could find only the love confessions of Marjorie. So he felt so confused. Pinchwife leaves, but he is brought back a moment later by Sparkish. So Sparkish was coming there. Pinchwife's sister Alethea is going to get wedded with Sparkish. So Pinchwife, as he was leaving, he was persuaded by Sparkish, and Honor was also called to join in his wedding dinner. Marjorie meanwhile pins for Honor's love and begins to write him another letter. Pinchwife bursts in on her and forces her to finish what she was writing. So Marjorie, she was so eager to meet Honor. She is in love with Honor, and she started to write another letter to him. Okay, and Pinchwife arrives at that moment, and Pinchwife forces her to finish what she is writing. He is confused when he signs the letter from Alethea and tells him that it is Alethea who is in love with Honor. So she is a tricky person. She is also cunning. Pinchwife got confused that he saw Alethea's sign. Okay, so Pinchwife felt that it is not Marjorie, but Alethea is in love with Honor. Pinchwife agrees to take his sister to see Honor, and Marjorie dresses up as Alethea, puts on a mask and tricks Pinchwife into taking her in a disguise. So Pinchwife is so stupid, and Pinchwife felt that Honor and Alethea, both of them are in love, and Marjorie dresses up like Alethea and went with Pinchwife to Honor. And Marjorie, she even wears a mask and tricks Pinchwife to take her into Honor's house. What happens next? Honor is shocked when Pinchwife reappears, this time bringing him a masked woman. The woman says that she will not only speak to Honor alone, so Pinchwife leaves them. Pinchwife believed that it is Alethea, but it's actually Marjorie. So Honor was so shocked when he saw Pinchwife reappearing with a masked woman, and the woman said that she will only speak to Honor alone, so Pinchwife has to leave the scene. Before Marjorie can explain herself to Honor, however, Sir Jasper arrives and tells him that Lady Fidget, Mrs. Dainty and Mrs. Squeamish are on their way up. So what happens? Marjorie, nobody can see that it's Marjorie. So Marjorie was about to explain her love towards Honor, but on that time Sir Jasper arrives and he says that, see, these three ladies, they are up in their way to that place. Honor hides Marjorie in another room and meets the ladies. So he cannot lose these three ladies. Okay, he wanted to have relationship with as many women as he could. So Honor hides Marjorie in another room and he meets these three ladies who are preparing to get very drunk and have a bawdy evening with him. So everybody knows that Honor is not actually important. But Sir Jasper is unaware about that. So Honor is there and the three ladies are there. So they are prepared to have a drunken night and a bawdy evening with them, a sexual evening with them. Outside Honor's house, Pinchwife meets Sparkish and shows him the letter which is addressed to Honor and signed with Alethea's name. Sparkish is insulted and confronts Alethea in the street to break off their engagements. What happens? Pinchwife believed that this letter was written by Alethea, signed by Alethea, confessing her love towards Honor, and Alethea is with Honor now. And outside Honor's house, when Pinchwife met with Sparkish, he showed the letter to Sparkish, and Sparkish got insulted and confronts Alethea in the street, and immediately their engagement was broken. Alethea is confused but relieved. Alethea was not in love with Sparkish and he knows that he is so stupid. And Alethea was so confused about Sparkish's action of breaking their engagement, but she felt relieved. Inside, Honor drinks with the honorable ladies who begins to get tipsy. Lady Fidget finally announces that Honor is her secret lover, and surprised when Mrs. Dainty and Mrs. Squeamish confesses that he is theirs too. The group agrees to keep each other's secret. So what happens? They are having a bawdy and drunken night, and inside Honor's house, Lady Fidget, as the ladies became drunk, she announced that Honor is her secret lover, and the other two ladies, Mrs. Dainty and Mrs. Squeamish, also confessed that Honor is their secret lover too. So the group agreed to keep these each other's secret as a secret itself. Now, when Sir Jasper arrives to take the ladies home, Honor releases Marjorie, who tells him that she is to be his wife now. So what happens? Sir Jasper arrives to take back the ladies to his house, and as Sir Jasper is there, Honor releases Marjorie, and Marjorie tells tells Sir Jasper that she is going to marry him. While they are in discussion, Sparkish, Alethea, Pinchwife, Harcourt, Lucy, and a chaplain arrive. So these people arrive. Pinchwife insists that Honor and Alethea should marry, but Alethea denies any knowledge of this affair. So Pinchwife, he believes that Honor and Alethea, these two people are in love. So he insists that Alethea and Honor should marry, but Alethea denies any such kind of affair. Eventually, she points out that Marjorie is dressed up as her, and Alethea and Harcourt are united and agree to marry instead. Pinchwife is furious with Honor for cuckolding him and prepares to duel him. So eventually, everybody knows that Marjorie is dressed up like Alethea, and Harcourt is in love with Alethea, and Alethea and Harcourt, they are engaged and they agree to marry. And Pinchwife is furious to know about this trick by Marjorie, and he knows that Honor cuckolded him, and he was prepared to take a duel with Honor. Sir Jasper and the ladies return as the scene is underway, and Pinchwife tells Sir Jasper that Honor has made a cuckold of him too. Sir Jasper is taken aback for a moment, but Honor is saved by the reappearance of the quack, who gives Pinchwife and Sir Jasper his word as a physician that Honor is important. So everybody is about to know that Honor is not actually important, but he was again saved by the quack, his friend, the physician doctor. And as Jasper was told by Pinchwife that he got cuckolded by Honor, and Jasper was at shock because he left the ladies of his house with Honor all this time. But as this thing was happening, the quack reappears and assures Pinchwife and Sir Jasper that as a physician, I can tell you that Honor is really important. Marjorie plays along with this, though she knows that they are all lying, and resigns herself to a future as Pinchwife's wife. And also Marjorie, at this moment, she also started to learn the ways of the town, and she started to be more more intriguing and more kind of keeping secrets with her. Marjorie also pretended that nothing happened between them, Marjorie and Honor, and she also played that that Honor is important only. So Marjorie knows that all these people are lying. Honor is not actually important, and she also resigned herself to a future as Pinchwife's wife. That's how the play ends. So intrigues, licentious scenes, dialogues, bawdy scenes, sexual intercourses, double meaned dialogues, prose dialogues, and we can also say that mockery over the aristocratic life. All these things are quite visible in this play. And do remember that China scene is there in the Country Wife. Do remember that. And Country Wife is so famous for China scene as well. In the China scene, who all are there? Lady Fitgett is there, Honor is there, and outside the room we can see Sir Jasper and Lady Lady Squeamish comes there with her mother-in-law. So all these people are there. So remember that the character's name as well. As you remember the play, the actions in the play, you will remember the character's name as well. If you have any further information, do comment that in the comment section along with your doubts, queries and questions and suggestions if you have any. Don't forget to visit my website and follow me on Instagram. Use this WhatsApp number or Instagram page to reach out to me. Okay, meet you in the next video session. Until then, stay tuned to High Point and be happy. Strive for your best for the upcoming NTA UGC NET JRF English Language and Literature, and be happy. Tata. Thank you for watching this video.